Okay. So, today I'm going to be doing my last review of a Trine Rain match. I say last because, my team and, so Trine Lightning and Trine Rain have, dropped out of the playoffs, due to losing our playoff matches. So we are no longer playing for this semester, at least for TESPA. So this is gonna be the last actual match that I got to spectate for Rain. Yeah, I was watching this match because my team, one of our players was going to be absent, so we didn't get a chance to actually play our match, and we had to forfeit. I can't confirm this for sure, but apparently, according to the Rain captain Augment, this is the 5th seeded team in the entire tournament. So, hi, Swiss. Just because. Anyway. So apparently this was the 5th seeded team, so you're gonna hear a lot of depressing commentary from their team because they were not enthusiastic about this match, to say the least. Which probably didn't help, but So we're gonna be coaching them over 3 maps. They played Lijiang, Kings Row, and Hanamura. And so, yeah, I'll go ahead and start up the video.
Yeah, it's ready. It's gonna be.
That was Space sort of coming up with that decision on the fly.
And apparently at the beginning here we have some audio from Overwatch League because I forgot to mute that.
Punish me. Wow, Talman. Wow.
Well.
Yeah, I know, that's my opinion, Evan. But,
Alright,
I can't change that.
I just say comfort. Just go comfort, really.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that comfort?
I really don't. I told them I did tell them at the beginning of the season, you probably should do comfort picks, but at this point, they should have been doing more to actually learn how they should play a certain composition or something like that, even if it's not going to be goats or dive or something. They should have an understanding of not just saying, oh, comfort picks. You really need to start by this point you should have had an idea of what things you guys were good at running and how you were good at what you're good at synergizing with. But
yeah.
Also, this is not the reason I'm doing it, but they didn't think that I would actually be able to get anything good in terms of improvement notes out of this, and so they told me I wouldn't be able to get anything out of this. I'm like, no, there'll be plenty. So prepare for me to be nitpicky as fuck. I will be muting myself while the maps are in progress, so
Yeah, I know.
Am I allowed to scream?
Yeah. You might have some trouble with sightlines, Chris, but if you can find them, that's fine.
I'll switch.
We're spectating the Trine Rain. They're
I would expect either goats or Pharah.
Probably go.
For TESPA.
Go to see.
Collegiate
love
series.
pharmacy.
Yeah.
I
So
appreciate the
what
fact that
map
at
do
least
we wanna
Alex
do
is
after this
taking
one?
time to think about what they would be playing.
I can wall castle, except it's just a duel between 2 McCrees.
Yeah, it needs to be a hybrid map. And I'm not
Josh,
sure
worry
which
about it
hybrid
later.
map we'd want to do.
Left.
Fair enough.
Talman.
Left.
Why?
Going point.
So I think I spend a lot of the time watching the supports
They're coming through
just
the back way.
because
Back door.
that's
Oh my gosh.
one of the things.
Goats.
Well, that's what I've been primarily playing this season. So
Yeah, that's a lost fight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what are we not gonna do?
I mean, for Drew, that's just you. You missed some shots. Granted, whoever was at the real front ahead of the Reaper was already dead. But like, who was it?
And I'm not
Josh,
sure
worry
which
about it
hybrid
later.
map we'd want to do.
Left.
Fair enough.
Talman.
Left.
Why?
Going point.
All right. Yeah, then we went right side.
The Lucio.
They're coming through the back way. Back door. Oh my gosh.
Goat.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Supports frontline? Huh. Pog. But, yeah, so... Alex can't just go in, especially since you were the one to point out that they were probably going to run goats. Like, against goats, you generally have to stay behind the Rhine. There are times where you can go in front of your Reinhardt to do something a little goofy, like displace their Reinhardt so that your Rhine can just swing into him without his team. But yeah, that does you have to wait for your Rhine to engage the fight before you can try anything that highly complex. Nick gets stuck on a wall. What a
Yeah,
surprise.
that's a lost fight.
Dies because he missed the shots, but he probably would have died anyway, so
Yeah, what are we
that's
not
enough
gonna
of
do
a
anything
tangent.
here?
Also, nice one.
There's no way you can get good shots.
So what are we going for?
I don't fucking
we're gonna-
know.
I
Go
mean,
through the back way. Go back right.
yeah.
Back right. Let's go. Back right.
Okay, so I think this is the first time you guys have mentioned playing goats to play against them, but I want, for anyone watching, I want you to wait to see how long it actually takes them to switch, because I already pointed this out to them, but just watch.
Oh god.
We'll back in same way they did. Ryan's gone.
Gotta be careful,
That's right.
Talman.
Yeah, I'm out of back.
Watch your health.
Yep.
No.
Good Lucio boot.
Yeah, that's a lost fight. Just reset.
It was lost well before you called it. You lost your Hammed immediately, because Talman got a little excited and just decided he was going to 1v6 their entire team without his supports having LOS on him.
Be mindful.
Yeah.
That was yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think we should make some.
Yeah.
Okay, here again, Talman's calling for swaps.
I don't think Widowmaker's gonna do anything for us.
Yeah, any suggestions?
Tells him to swap off Widow. Ask for suggestions.
Against goats, maybe
Sorry guys, I
Junkrat,
backed up when I shouldn't have.
but you don't really play Junkrat much.
Oh god.
Honestly,
Help,
typically
please.
goats is what you run into goats.
Again, it's mentioned.
Which we can try running, if you switch to Zarya. And Nick switches
Reinhardt
to,
low.
Reinhardt's off the map.
Yeah, the Rhine's off the map, but that doesn't mean shit.
You want me to switch to Zarya?
We can try running goats. That's our best bet, honestly. So yeah, try Zarya.
Talman is rolling ahead of his entire team, even though they're all dead. You're not going to get a bat cap against this team if, like... And also, you just make it harder for your team to get out of spawn because you're not there to help them.
You want me to
What do you
switch
freaking
to-
do about that?
Break.
Okay,
So
I guess
we're
he does
doing
back off.
goats.
I can remember.
I mean, it's our best bet. We gotta try something here.
Okay.
I can't.
They finally decided, yeah, look at how much control percentage the enemy team has accrued before they even decide to switch, and they haven't even finished making swaps yet. 2/3 of the point. They let the 2/3 of the point go before deciding to swap. And they've been talking about it since the beginning of the map. Pretty much. You gotta make the swaps really early on. Like, ideally, I think you want to start making them around, like, 1/3 of the capture, not 2/3. So, this took way too long.
I can't tell what this guy's typing. Whoever's typing in chat.
Alright. They likely have a lot of their ultimates here.
Thanks for the
What is
heals.
Alex doing?
Son of a bitch.
A little bit unfortunate, but also like you guys are playing up without the Reinhardt, and granted, you haven't really practiced goats, which is kind of an issue that you should have at least discussed. Like, my team didn't really play goats all that much this season, but we knew how to play it. We just preferred not to. Because
I almost have ultimate.
Tom, you charged ahead while your team's done. Non-existent, Evan. That's what ult tracking is for this team. Non-existent.
Ryan discorded.
Granted, I wouldn't expect them to be able to ult track necessarily. I do mention it to Josh later on, I think. Because I'm like, okay, you need to be tracking the Zarya ult because that's the only way you're gonna like be effective as divas if you start tracking Zarya ult, but
Diva discorded. Oh god, everything's killing us.
here's just,
I
you
also
know,
have the Diva Bomb next.
the winning capture.
No,
You
that
got
doesn't matter.
one. You got like half a fight because you guys
Yeah,
took
we
so
had
long
the
to
same role.
swap.
Yeah.
Like it. I think you finished making swaps around the 80% mark, and then you were already down one because your brig got booped off a bridge. You can't be making those kinds of big mistakes like that.
Why did I do the things I did?
Yeah.
It
I
wasn't
shouldn't
just
have
you, Alex.
just,
It was
like,
the entire
tried to
team.
toy.
I mean, feeding as a Lucio doesn't help, but like it's by far not even the biggest issue your team has.
Tell you what I saw. First of all, Josh, be more decisive. That took way too fucking
Yeah.
long. I was
I know.
sitting here frustrated with you guys because I was like, God, you know that your comp isn't gonna work against it, but you're not switching fast. So that was the first problem. Second,
Right.
when you did switch, I know you didn't have a lot of time to practice or play this, but you gotta stay behind Talman. Talman, you have to be taking the lead on this. You gotta try and figure out this matchup.
Jam your heels up his ass.
Yeah, so that was like my 30-second. I have to try and explain to this team what they're trying to do in 30 seconds or less. But yeah, that was.
All right.
Yeah, just try not to pin aggressively, Talman, to that because that'll be your doom.
Alright, let's go.
Fast as
So-
fuck, boy.
Alright.
I go.
Oh, just because you're here, Evan, how much you want to bet they keep playing in front of Talman, the Reinhardt player? Huh?
Go
Go right,
middle.
left. Left.
Okay, left.
There's the brig already in front. Not too big of a problem, except
They have a main.
think.
Right discord.
Oh, they got flanked by a Mei.
May froze.
Yeah.
Right half.
Just another new wrinkle for
Oh
them.
yeah, fuck me. Fuck.
Yeah.
They- like, on top of learning a new comp, they have to play against the same comp that the matchup isn't exactly clear on how they're supposed to do it. And then on top of that, a Mei gets thrown into the mix, which is another thing they haven't really practiced against. So it was just bad, but they could be played much better. Yeah, that fight was lost. They should have started backing off earlier, especially with the Lucio with the
Is that
speed boost
point?
would have helped.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Who cares?
I mean, I kind of care.
This is a heavily one-sided match, and you know it.
I know.
You know. But still,
We're
I
down
want to
two.
try.
Down two. Don't engage. Don't engage. Back up, guys.
Back up. Hey, hey, top right, top right, top right, top right. Top right this way.
Up the stairs, let's go.
Stairs. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
I see it.
I almost have.
Trine,
I almost have.
No, wait.
They're gonna be. They know we're going this way. They can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Why is he captain? Because Patrick, our coach. But yeah, no. The thing is, I've noticed people that are slightly better at it than he is, but the problem is, it doesn't, like, none of them seem to really be able to take charge either. So, like, if you swapped off the captain role and gave it to someone else, they'd probably be doing about the same thing. The only difference that might happen is they might get their calls a little faster. But that's about it. Also, the Lucio's on point with his entire team trapped behind a Maywall. Alex, I'm sorry, man, but
Because
like you
move
really
time.
made it hard for your team here.
Oh, no.
Zen's been guarding the point.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been going for a back
all.
cap.
Yep.
No point even going up top right, because they know we're gonna go there.
I mean, you can go top right to prevent them from walling you off in one area, but I mean, Reddit Lucio would be a lot funnier, but this is just sad and unfortunate. But bashing Alex aside, there is a reason to go top right, and it's because if you can bait the Maywall, you might be able to disengage with your Lucio to back off and like try to get through when the wall's actually down. Or if that doesn't work, you'll at least be all grouped up in one place and not fighting through as small of a choke. I think the doorway inside is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Do we phase? Do I die trying to let you guys get over to that side?
I mean, I could try my ult
Go,
just
go,
to
go.
get past us.
Got one. Lucio's down.
I mean, that helped. That would have been good if Talman didn't just charge in and die. Really needed to back off a little
May.
bit. there.
Behind
Meg's
us?
behind us. She's low. May's half.
Ryan's our point, along with Zen.
Ryan,
No Zen ult.
oh god, what happened?
Tranquility.
Get the down Lucio right now.
No, they're not.
No.
He's back.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Male, Josh, I think you just used.
Ryan,
Let's see.
No Zen
Let's
ult.
see. Watching
God,
for
what
the D
happened?
Matrix.
Get
Tranquility.
the down Lucio right now.
No, they're not.
Oh,
He's back.
We got back.
Okay, so she threw it straight at the ground. And you would use the D Matrix to eat meaningless damage, so you didn't have it up. But if you hadn't used that D Matrix to eat up meaningless damage, you can eat the male.
Classic.
I popped it early.
Yeah, Evan has a point once again. You're taking a fight without a Rhine, and that's how you lose, just straight up. Like, there is times where you can clutch, but losing Reinhardt, unless you're trading their Rhine, is going to be very difficult to clutch, or a lot harder to clutch than if.
I almost
Wow.
got May.
and I'm dead. Zen
Then-
Ryan on me.
Yeah.
I need to
Are
run.
you fucking kidding me, May?
We're gonna get.
I mean, this is
They're just gonna get into the front here.
Talman, you can't keep pinning out a spawn. Like, you can't do that. It puts you way too far ahead of your team, and it leaves you completely vulnerable next to their team. And here they just burn everything because they're shitting on you and they don't care.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
Do we actually have to do
So-
5 matches?
So I
of
actually
this?
saw a lot of good things there. Actually,
No, just
for a couple of you,
your ultimate timings were actually really on point and really good. Make sure, Josh, you actually pick your map first. I want you to have that ready for when they ask. Maybe it's just because I'm watching it back, I can actually see everything that's going on. But what ultimate timings were actually good? Like, maybe I was talking about... No, first point, they didn't really use any. Maybe there was a Brig rally at a good time. Oh, no, there was a Transcendence I liked out of the Zenyatta. I didn't. I'm not in the same mindset as I was yesterday. So, like, either I'm more critical today or I actually forgot because I wasn't paying attention to the... Yeah, the Transcendence was good. But
I'm not sure which map.
Just pick one then.
Just pick.
If it really doesn't
Flip a
matter, just pick
coin.
one.
Flip it.
We're probably gonna get.
But either way,
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Josh, just fucking choose one.
I'd say probably maybe King's Row.
King's Row.
Which
Okay,
one?
Then type it.
Knig's Row?
Yeah, but I actually
The K is
liked a couple
silent.
of the things there. There were some good ultimate timings. I like the fact
Nice
that
one.
you guys used Transcendence after they used theirs. I guess I answered my own question. Let's see, other things. Yeah, honestly, like, playing against the Mei is gonna be frustrating, but if they run it, you can beat it using your comp. One of the things you guys can try is running a Sombra, but honestly, I'd probably just stick with the standard just because it'll be a little bit easier to not try to mess with it too much, especially since this isn't exactly the time to try and learn a new comp on the fly.
Yep.
So,
Still some solid tips, just apparently there was more good about it than I remembered. Or than I forgot.
Chris, you're primarily going to be saving your bubbles to cleanse Discord. Unless you need to pocket someone who's going to die otherwise. So, like, wait until they're actually low or they're discorded. Because if you cleanse the Discord, it'll make it a lot harder for them to kill.
Thanks, Evan.
So it'll probably be
do
Talman
appreciate
a lot of the time, since this team seems to be pretty good. They'll be placing on Talman a lot. So Talman, you got to watch your shield so that the Zen can't Discord you. Because otherwise that'll make it real easy for them.
Everyone switch to peanut butter.
Evan, they listen to me in the sense that they
be listening to for the alt timings because
that they
with, like,
pick
Meryl,
up on
there's
some of the more general stuff.
Once you hear the alt line, the Blizzard won't activate immediately.
Pausing myself so I don't have to talk over myself. They don't switch the Sombra because, again, like I kind of said it myself, you're already trying to learn a new comp. We're just gonna try not to introduce new wrinkles into it that you're not ready for anyways. And then, but as far as like how to actually run the comp, they do try to pick up on some of that. It's just still like really compared to this team, subpar execution, just because like they haven't practiced as much as this other team has. And add to the fact that, again, this team is like the 5th seed, so like, and they're like the some 100th seed or something like that. So this team is consisting of Masters and Diamonds and maybe even GMs or Smurfs, I don't know. There'd be Masters or Diamonds.
Unless you throw the
GMs, one of the two.
The fucking ground.
One
So
of the
you
three.
usually have some time to react to and eat it. So you just need to use your D matrix and really save it for those moments where you're gonna have are expecting a graviton. And also that's one thing I want you to do, since you should be in a position to know the timing of a Zarya grav. I want you to try and keep track of whether the Zarya has that ultimate online. And if you don't know whether she used it, you can feel free to ask, because other people will probably be able to answer that for you. And then you just have to try and keep track of when she's going to get it. There. Sound good?
All right.
And
Yeah,
that's-
I know.
And then
I know you can do that.
I'm just not good at it.
Try J Nuckrat.
yeah. Well, you don't have to be
Alright.
good at it. You just have to be decent enough to be expecting it.
Yeah.
At some point. And then whoever's playing Zen, I don't know. I know Nick was
That's
playing
me.
it last map. When try to land your discords on the Rhine just like they're doing to Telman.
Alright.
Let's see. Are you guys attacking or defending?
Welcome,
Attacking.
new
Attack.
viewer.
Okay.
Spectating, man.
Yeah, no. I was in the middle of the Yoon.
Yeah, I would expect
So-
a goats comp again.
Yeah. If they don't show themselves at spawn, what one of you could do is switch to a Sombra and just stealth and run in
Yeah.
to like see what they have, and then
Yeah,
take you
Nick, why
back
don't
to
you
spawn.
do that?
If you want, you don't have to do that. That's just a suggestion.
All right, that's fine. And if they have goats, we'll switch to goats. So,
But anyway, just if you're gonna be
They have a
swapping
break
things,
at the
if you're gonna be
top.
swapping them, you gotta decide quicker. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
yeah, they have Brig and
They're
Lucio.
gonna be playing
Break
goats.
loose.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
goats.
I'm shutting up.
They have goats here, yeah. Let's switch to goats,
Sure.
guys. So that's
Seriously?
Ryan,
Oh, whatever. Why?
yeah, Ryan Zarya, and then
Alright.
Brig Lucio, Zen.
Go through the right way. Oh, never mind. Why did I
Alright.
even bother?
You correct yourself, but you correct yourself after you die. Needed to fix that sooner. You should not have been that far ahead of your team. And then your entire team needs to go back to spawn because I think this team ends up pushing you forward just because they can.
doing that.
Because you
Yeah.
are
Nobody
going.
was.
Yeah.
Nobody was.
And
So we
instead, you guys end up walking towards them and
Okay, back up,
just
back.
feed this fight.
Guys took too
Back
long
in
to
the spot.
decide.
I think.
Ah!
Okay, you don't all get wiped, but you do lose.
Blast.
You do lose 2 on the way back to spawn because you didn't back up immediately.
All right, wait for Nick, and then we can go out.
Yeah, goats ruined the fuck out of this game. Okay, Amir, let's go. Go right. Is this your Discord? Sorry.
Okay, you're. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Zarya too, actually. I'd argue on equal levels as the Rhine, Lucio, and Zen. If not just in general. Because she's where a lot of the team damage comes from if the Rhine or Zen isn't just getting swings or whatever. Either way, the reason we're paused here is, let's see, we have a Lucio right here, again in front of the team, in front of the Reinhardt, and we have this Diva also in front of the Rhine and the Zarya and everyone else. You can't be doing this because, well, Diva does not feed Zarya, but does not just feed Zarya ult charge if you're playing Diva well. That doesn't mean you can just play in front and take damage, because Diva's not meant to just take damage indefinitely.
Move towards you guys so you can hit her.
All right, she has no personal barrier.
Behind us!
In fact, if any tank is made to just take damage, it's Hammond. But even then, that's not really what you should be trying to do.
Diva! Diva!
Yeah.
Okay, I like the Diva call behind, but let's see if I can get... Okay. Ooh. At the moment of disaster is where I stopped
Sorry,
that.
move towards you guys so you can hit her.
All right, she has no personal barrier.
Behind us! Diva!
And
Diva!
we get right here. So, all 3 supports are face tanking. All of you. We have the Lucio, we have the Zen, we have the Brig, the Reinhardt is behind them, the Zarya is over here trying to help the Diva chase the other Diva, and the Diva's flying up top chasing a Diva behind before giving her team time to react to her call. And what happens? The Zen gets picked, fight's done already, and they're about to push and just eat your entire team.
Here.
Especially because you guys don't back out. Oh, and look at that. What's this? We got another pick on Lucio because we're not backing out and nobody's calling to back out. And now that the Lucio's down and everyone left is low mobility, nobody's going to make it out alive.
I'm down.
And a BM shatter just because he can.
They likely have a grab right now.
Surviving with 7 health, but you shouldn't have been tempting them anyway.
Yeah, they probably have.
With the exception of the fact that you didn't lose 10 seconds off the clock for dying, you fed as much ult charge as if you almost fed as much ult charge as if you had just died. Yeah, the facepalming Moira emote is the appropriate response.
Right. Yep. Go.
Alright.
Go top. Go.
Also, I think I had mentioned this in another match, but the Lucio needs to be calling the engagements. But it doesn't matter if the Lucio is calling the engagements when he's face tanking. Because I count 3 defenders on point with line of sight on him. Actually, I count 4 because I see there's a Zen projectile, so he's like hidden over in this area, but he is a part of that. So 4 on point. There's a Lucio, a Zarya, and a Brig, all in LOS, and almost all can do range damage. The only one being the exception is Brig.
They're on the setch.
Now, he doesn't end up dying right away, but he's still... Ryan is clipping through the Zenyatta here. So, he's not in front. The Zen is not even behind the Rhine anyway, because again, the Rhine's only clipping through him. Diva's in front. Lucio's in front. This is another fed fight, because you guys can't keep your positioning under control.
Ryan's half.
Okay, I guess that isn't what happens. What ends up happening is your Ryan charges in, gets the heal orb, but he's about to get discorded and
Briggs
melted.
Briggs one.
There's the discord. There's the melt.
Ryan discorded.
I'm out of mech.
Oh god.
Lucio's in point.
It doesn't matter. Lucio, you shouldn't have fed. Oh, I was talking about them discording, getting, did Nick actually put this discord on their Rhine? Because all I saw was the other team putting the discord on Talman, aka our Reigns Reinhardt. Oh, okay. So, good job, Nick. You discorded the right target.
Right.
It's just
Got 2
unfortunate
ultimates to work
that
with now.
everyone was out of position that entire fight.
So we're close to another one.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Diva's on
Even
top,
better.
right?
Let's go get that diva first.
Get rid of Diva. Come on.
That's a good call.
She discorded. Up top. Diva jumped down. No, she's right up. Stairs.
Yeah, she went up there and then she went down.
Diva discorded.
Yeah.
Now.
Been discord.
Diva's on right side.
Okay. Okay, so there's a break here. Reinhardt's charging in. Let's see, you got Discord on the Lucio. The Discord needs to be on the Rhine. Especially since the Rhine is about to pain your Diva, I think? Oh, wait, no, that was nothing. That was a hammer swing.
I don't have my ult blocked. Shit!
Oh, blast.
Can't throw a Diva bomb when you're in grab.
Gosh, I better just.
It holds momentum. Yeah, that's...
I will not give up the fight.
Why did I even bother?
60 seconds remaining.
Good God, this is a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
It is, but...
I mean...
Talon, it's your mark!
Team calls it, but he's already dead.
Go left into the building. Left in building.
No. Okay, that's a bad call from you, Alex. A, because you're way the fuck over here. Which you shouldn't be. Especially since you know your Rhine just died. You need to be back helping your team back the fuck up. You know, Evan, if I can actually get them if I can get them to agree to it, I will let you, and I will probably help you, because I know a lot of the things that are going wrong here. It's just I can't. I'm sitting here helplessly in the top left of your screen, just like, this is exactly what I expected, but I'm not happy about it.
Josh, you're gonna get smacked up.
Just back up all the way.
That's Chris.
Yeah, so Chris.
Alright, everybody's up.
Alright, go.
Rush!
I'm trying
Yeah,
to run
David's still
around.
behind us. Be careful.
Okay, you're calling the diva. You're not going for this time, but you're at least calling that she's there.
Be careful, they're headed in that way. Oh god, they're trying to boot them up.
Zenyatta got ahead of the Rhine. Well, actually... Okay, I figured out the problem in this clip. The Rhine's here. The Brig came through this building over here. Josh came around statue. You guys need to rotate together, or you're gonna just have fights like this happen where your Zen's caught in the middle of his rotation, or the rotation he's trying to do, and he just dies because, well, his team is not even anywhere near enough to help him.
They likely have Earth Shatter again.
Doesn't matter if they have Earth Shatter, they already won the fight.
I'm out of mech. Get the point, I'm down. Alright, that's it. Yeah.
GG, everyone, it's over.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, so again, you guys are picking this up rather decently. Yeah, but the one thing is, what Talman did call out at least one point is, Alex and Nick, you guys need to be playing more behind Talman instead of in front of him. I think, Alex, I told you that sometimes it's good to boot people into your team, but, like, you were getting out, like, you were overextending way too far. But, no, I mean, it's, the result probably would be the same, but, just make it harder for them, I guess.
Alright.
Give them a challenge, because I know you guys are capable of at least... What encouraging words, just give them a challenge. Man, I'm starting to pick up their depression. God. Winning a couple of team fights on these guys.
No, we're fucking not.
Yes, you are. And just by, like, ult management, you guys can get some kills and win fights.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
By the way, a fight win in this context is more of not that they get like a team wipe, but they get enough kills to get the other team to just back off and leave for like a minute. The 10 seconds it takes for the respawns to come back. Yeah, so just everyone make sure you're playing behind Talman, and Talman, make sure you're giving them space to play behind you, because if now that doesn't mean you need to be playing super far in front of them, but it does mean like you can't be entirely passive either. So, just call when you're going to move forward and when you're going to. I think I should have told them to just passive. Honestly, like,
a lot more.
he gets way too active. I think he pins to start the fight and just dies.
We're going pharmacy.
I'm slapped.
Recorded.
Ryan's one.
Far.
Is that a Torb?
Oh, no, the Pharah just...
Torb's behind us.
The Pharah wins because the Josh as the diva does not do anything. And I guess all three supports also died. I don't know how all three of you died, especially the Lucio to the Pharah. Like, Brig, I understand. I don't understand how the fucking Torbjorn got back there and Hamburg killed you, Nick, but... or how that was allowed to happen. But either way, this Pharah kill on the Lucio should not have happened, either because you should be, well, I guess unlucky, but... yeah, I don't know how that happened. Because it's usually pretty easy to avoid Pharah rockets as Lucio.
He's one. Got him.
There's no healing here. There should have been a call to back up.
Lucio's on point.
Doesn't even matter. The Pharah got behind. Nobody called it. Josh didn't do anything as the diva.
Down.
Which is a huge mistake on his part.
I got it.
There's the reason people can't just play Pharah into straight up goats most of the time is because diva can effectively shut it down if you're not just throwing all your resources into her. Which in this case they're not, so like a better team probably could have managed this. But
Fighting.
let's see, do I have any wise words of wisdom for them? Or words of depression? Again.
Yeah, we do. We pick.
Get another map answer ready, because I think you pick again.
Yeah, we do. We pick if we lose.
We're always gonna pick.
Go Hannah.
Die.
God, Alex, you're just the most depressing person on this squad, aren't you? Like, I know that we all know you're not going to win this match, but God, you don't have to be so depressed about it. Like, you can be like, okay, this isn't going well, but we can still do well. We can still put our best foot forward.
Yes.
And you're just like, we lose. I'm depressed.
Great, the voices of people who can actually win.
We ready, boys? I guess.
As ready as we're gonna
Come
be.
on, guys, heads high.
I don't have a head. It got cut off by Ryan's flipping hammer.
Yeah.
I really don't know what the fuck I can go here. They're just gonna run fucking goats again.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much goats.
Yeah, I just say fuck it, run whatever you want.
Let's
So
try
Trine
to like
wins.
the most.
The reason, like, I'm just sitting up here quiet is because, like, I'm listening to this and I'm just not... I'm not sure how to talk to them at this point. Yeah. Yeah, I know. The depression just hurts more. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm up here, like, doing is I'm like, you know, let me get out of the... Let me get myself out of the way. That's why I'm sitting up here just, like, real sad. Is, like, I don't know how to talk to them. Like, they've just... I've lost all words of encouragement because they're just being really depressed.
Slowly comp that we can.
Let's barricade inside spawn.
So yeah,
Oh my goodness, you guys.
I was gonna say you could also probably go Moira too.
Yeah. Yeah, taking it as a learning experience is kind of what I wanted them to do. That's why I'm doing this review, is because I wanted this to be a learning experience for them. Like, even... But, like... I don't know, their players, I guess, just do not handle the stress and anxiety of playing as this squad well. Like, I think maybe if they had a few different teammates instead of some of the ones they currently have, they might have a little better attitude in general, but it's hard to say from me because I don't play on this squad ever, so. But
I don't know.
yeah, having a negative mental attitude about what's going on is not going to help. and it doesn't
I mean,
help you
technically,
improve.
that was like 3 off healers.
Well,
that we
actually, Lucio's the main heals in that comp.
Oh, well.
Well, actually, no, Zen's. No, Lucio's the main heals.
Make up your mind.
I just had to think for a second about it. I was gonna say I would either run the Moira or the Ana, and then if they're not playing goats and you're gonna switch comps, you gotta call it sooner. Hey, who wants to guess what they don't do? Or Evan, I guess. Guess what they don't do? See. Take forever to switch comps or not switch at all? You're exactly right.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Attack.
Right. Going.
Okay, now this attack is kind of bad from the start because we shouldn't have been running the Hammond. I don't know why Telman likes running the Hammond just everywhere, but like he shouldn't.
Running.
May.
And here's where things start to go wrong. Talman is all the way across the map, and the other team is waiting up here, right up here, waiting to drop down and catch you from behind.
Oh, May walked us off.
Yep, they're behind.
The Brig immediately dies, and the fight's just lost.
Yeah.
And you don't even get a tick out of it because
Yeah, they're running in standard.
Ryan's
you
low.
guys forgot
Yeah,
that
Ryan's
they're
won.
running a Lucio.
We
They'd
almost
be
got
running
first
a-
tick.
Comp.
Yeah,
They'd be
we can
running
go more
around
standard
standard.
then.
So they're running a 2-2-2, which I said, if they're not running goats, you should feel free to run not goats too.
Yeah, I was probably gonna stick more.
Stick with this.
Alright.
You say stick with this, but you probably should have told Talman to switch off the Hammond. Like, Talman, I'm sorry, man, but A, you're not really good at playing with the Hammond. And then, on top of not really being good at the Hammond, well, you're running a Hammond into a comp that is going to abuse the hell out of the fact that you're not running a standard main tank.
Replay for Talon. Come on, Talon. Run. Or roll.
Also, we talked about swapping comps. Look at this. I think it's just because Talman wanted to run the Hammond. I don't think it was any particular reason. But yeah, look at what you guys did. One of you agreed to, said you guys wanted to swap. And so we have this Ana here. What about the other 5 squad members? Are they gonna swap? No. They're gonna stay on this until the end of the map? Yes. Are they ever gonna talk about it? No.
Back and back.
Alright, go.
Nice. Go, go, go.
Go, go, go.
I don't know how that happens, but you seem to have forgotten the fact that there was a May.
Gonna boop Ryan away.
And
Pissed off. Lucio, May.
Fuck her, go on point. She's been naded.
First May, May's one. Got her.
Ryan's half.
okay, and now here's like you would think that this fight is going to go well, but because no one's watching for the Widow is going to come back from spawn because she got picked pretty early in this fight. She's gonna be standing in this archway and just clicking heads. I think first probably goes the
Trine, Ryan.
Moira.
Go, go, go.
Oh,
Or no, it's Lucio.
Actually, Zarya.
Actually, I guess two things
Zarya's
happen.
one.
These two end up feeding because they forget that they're faster than the rest of their team and that the rest of the team is not with them to support.
Gotcha. Oh god, I get sniped.
I'm out of back.
Damn it,
Blast.
Lucio.
We almost had it.
I'll have coalescence next fight.
That was
I burned
nice.
her out.
Thing is, grab just to
Old.
kill you.
We need to wait for everybody.
They
Yeah.
can see me.
Go, 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 go.
Okay, nobody's noticed the comp switch yet. Like, still nobody's paying attention to the fact that you don't
Oh, let's go.
have a brig
Yeah,
anymore.
Fire up top! I mean, Widow up top, whatever her name is.
Alright, she's on low ground right
I'm
side.
trying away.
Cam's coming through. Widowmaker's up top again. Ult's out.
Also, Tomlin once again dies off by himself. Because you would... Tomlin, I'm sorry, buddy, but the Hammond is just not going to fit your team's style. And you need to put some serious time into understanding how the engages work as Hammond instead of just thinking you can just run him on his own. Because he requires a lot of support.
Got two.
If
Go, go, go.
you're not playing him absolutely perfectly.
Oh no! Help me, Drew. Help me.
Cam is behind. Cam's half.
I'm right here.
Bubble usage isn't great, but I mean that's micro for Chris.
No.
I literally.
Nick, what did you expect? You were literally in the middle of the Reinhardt and everyone else.
Ryan.
It was not a question of when you were going to die. It was a question of, yeah. I hate to say it, Talman, but Evan's right. It like to the outside observer, it would look like you're throwing.
Lucio, no ult.
Ryan's down. Nice. Widow got me. Widow's the right side.
Okay, the fact that you guys haven't realized that this is a lost engagement is a sin. Like a cardinal sin. Everybody except the Hammond and Lucio have died at this point. I mean, you had a baby diva, but we saw how well that went. The Hammond just died. The Lucio's still on point, and you're telling him that it's still a fight you can win. We're going to watch here as the Lucio thinks he's still capable of winning the fight and gets caught out here by their Lucio and their Hammond and gets booped off the map, I believe. No, he just gets focused.
Yeah, they have a tracer now.
Give me a couple minutes. I cannot take this.
We're down, Leon.
You're down one.
You're down your entire team, Talman, because you forget they move slower than you.
I'm
Like, again,
behind
this,
you.
you've just... Every time you've come out of spawn, you've died. In, like, instants. Getting one clipped by a tracer is just unfortunate. It's kind of a byproduct of what we're seeing happen, of you guys just playing like this is deathmatch. You're all playing like it's deathmatch. Like you're playing like you're trying to 1v1 all the other heroes, but you really need to be playing like this is a team effort. And that's not happening here.
I'm out of max blast.
Watch out, you got heals behind you.
Yeah,
Your fate. You died. You got out of mech, Josh, because you kept playing Diva like a main tank that just can phase tank everything. Not that main tanks can do that either, but Diva especially is unsuited to that. You died because you guys keep pushing up well beyond where you should be.
Is there no recall?
That's gonna happen to your Lucio too,
Yeah.
and you as well are going to die at 7 health. Nope, I guess they let you leave. They're being gracious of sorts.
Hey, what is one? Back in mech. Alright, I have ultimate.
Go, mate.
Also, you can tell how much this team cares because the Widow literally took forever to actually jump down after like dropping so much health. She was probably thinking something along the lines of, I could die and my team would still win without me. Like, that's how bad you're playing. That's how much you're just letting them kill you. Like, here's another thing. You can see the Widow line of sight here with this red line. And then we also see the D-Matrix just eating all the abilities that the Ana's trying to throw here. But your Ana and Moira are face tanking. Like,
Let's go.
This is
Watch
utter
out.
quick play. That was a good shot from the
Got
window.
one. We're out of mech.
That's
On my way.
one case so unfortunate. This is just
Run, Tal!
Alright.
no,
I'm on my way, but I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah, it's over. Just get him.
Yeah.
Now here we're actually gonna take a skip because
So,
they fuck up
what
the
did I say
map.
about calling swaps?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah. There were no co-op calls at all. The comp wasn't working. There were no swap calls. Thus, an instance we lost. The end.
I mean, wow, Alex summed it up good. We should have swapped. It wasn't called. Therefore, we lost.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Let's see.
Wait, what?
Yeah. There were no co-op calls at all. The comp wasn't working. There were no swap calls. Thus, an instance we lost. The end.
The comp wasn't working. No swaps were called. The match was lost. I couldn't have come up with a better like three-step process for how that match just went. Like nothing more needs to be said.
Wait, wasn't there another round?
Yeah, they fucked it up. Misclick. Oh my god. Wait. But yeah, hey guys, we don't have to play goats. Let's swap. No calls, no swaps.
Yep. Said let's swap, but
I was in physical pain. Yeah, that was a bad misclick. That would normally mean they would have to play the match over, but in this case, they just decided that, oh, they didn't get a tick, we'll just call it if you get a tick. And then they end up playing the second point out for the hell of it.
You guys ran 3-3. The only difference was that you had an Ana instead of a Brig. And a Hammond instead of a Reinhardt.
I'm just done with this.
I'm in... Evan, you know how you were talking about you're in pain? Look at this guy. Look at the guy behind me. He's in absolute pain. You could cut me with a knife and it wouldn't hurt as much. Yeah.
The hell's the point when we're just gonna lose?
To learn
That's no way to be thinking, Alex. Always be thinking positively.
from your mistakes and get better.
nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Let's just wallow in our self-pity.
Well, that's depressing.
Do we have another game later?
Yeah,
No.
we know.
No, we don't.
Not if you don't win this.
Good.
Alex,
Throw it.
Alex, stop being depressed. That's my
Honestly,
job.
I'm really hating this right now.
Alex,
Yeah,
stop being depressed. That's my
This
job.
guy doesn't have eyes.
What?
Alright, let's just do our thing, boys. You know what? Fuck it. Just fuck around and go crazy.
I mean, try to get one fight.
I'm
That'd be
gonna see
nice.
how many times I can boop these motherfuckers.
On Hanamura, not likely.
Off the bat.
It is
Ah,
possible.
You could if you're lucky.
Alex,
But
stop
not
being
likely.
depressed. Please.
Dude,
Can't
this
help
sucks.
it. Yeah.
This
it
really
fucking-
sucks.
I'm going to cripple you with depression.
I'm already
Me getting
crippling
my
with
fucking
depression.
asshole kicked
No, I am
every
going to
single
cripple
time
you
I play.
with depression.
I'm already clinically depressed. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
And you're crippled because your hand. Hey.
Guys, get in this corner here.
Yeah, get back here,
Great
guys.
strat. The great strat.
Or we can just spread the fuck out everywhere and confuse the shit out of them. I think that's strat too.
Oh,
It's the
Nick, are you
perfect
just gonna
plan.
sit there?
I'm gonna come in behind him. It's gonna be fun as shit.
I mean, okay, we have a Rhine over, not through the on your defender side of the gateway. We have the Lucio coming behind, who's gonna get fucking focused.
I was here.
Especially considering there's a Hog and a Rhine and everyone else.
Well, that worked out pretty well.
Oh my goodness! Whoa!
Not gonna lie.
Tommen had a decent pin.
Oh,
That was a good get on the Ana.
Hog. Hog, no heal. Sorry, it's half.
Okay. So, I know, Evan, I know it sounds like they're all throwing, and I know, and, you know, I tried to keep them in the best mood I could, but there's not, I'm not in comms with them when they're in the match, because I don't want to be an unwelcome distraction, but, like, okay. In the meantime, though, let's break this down. So, despite the fact that we lost our Lucio immediately, we still managed to have 2 picks. We killed the Ana, we killed the Reinhardt. You guys end up losing this fight, and let's talk about why. We have a Widow positioned over here. I mean, it's decent, but it's really susceptible to getting easy to get shot at, especially from like the main choke. We have a Junker over here who isn't playing behind their team, behind their Rhine or behind anyone. The Ana is somewhere behind that, and here's another. Talman does stuff and gets himself killed for it. Talman pings, and just gets deleted. Oh, the Junkrat was killed by the Hog, who, probably guessing by the melee, hooked him. Because Talman wasn't playing in front of him. That's good sleep.
Zarya's down. Dog's half.
I'm down.
You got another 2 picks, but you have a Hog, and you have a Lucio you have to deal with, and you only have a Lucio for healing now. And they have a Lucio and a Hog. Your Widow's not paying attention to the point, so she can't headshot the Hog to kill him.
I'm down.
That's the fact the Rhine's now in that choke.
I can save the day.
Save it.
The Ana died to a Venomine, I guess.
Please.
Save
it.
I'm on my way back.
Save it. We know you
No,
can. Oh, but there's one person on there. 2, 3. Oh.
Yeah. Nick, if you're ever gonna use Tire, you should probably try to, especially when there's a Hog, you should probably try avoiding it on point, using it on point. Even if you do have to contest, it's better to give up progress and get the thing, especially since your Widow was already contesting. Your Widow was already sacrificing her positioning so that you guys could hopefully not have to sacrifice your positioning. And you did anyways.
1, 5.
They got it.
Alright.
They won.
And then I do want to break down the later part of that because they do end up winning a fight. Because they decide to play the map out. And I'm going to try and break it down because I don't think OSU was throwing that fight. And so I want to break down why you won it.
Thingy.
What's up, boys?
So your Ana got a pick on the Symmetra. You lost your Zarya.
Yeah.
Oh, Holly's their main.
Alright.
Why are we playing through the whole thing?
Who cares? Because we said so, it's whatever.
2 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Slides down.
That was good.
What the hell just happened?
I'm at
Roaddogs.
Hog 1.
Dang it!
Monkey. Nice one.
Well, I don't have a good perspective on this, but I can probably guess what happened with at least one of these things. We obviously have the Talman on the Bastion now. Who, I did point this out at the time, the reason Talman doesn't die during this entire fight here is the Ana is sitting off to the left side, pocketing the fuck out of him. Which, granted, isn't great for the, well, one tank they still have, but, and it's not really great for the rest of the team either, but because the Bastion's allowed to stay up, he's able to keep putting down damage. I think the Tracer died to a Pulse Bomb because I think the Ana slept her, which was really good.
Nice.
Hog dies to the Bastion because he doesn't have enough health.
We actually want to fight.
And they,
Oh, wow.
you actually want to fight.
We actually want to fight, guys.
Let's see how far we can
What
get.
did I tell you?
Come
I hop
on.
in comms and
Let's
yell
just
that out.
fucking
Why do we have a Bastion now?
Why
Fuck it.
not?
Because why not?
Yeah, get you a top right.
He's the best tank in the game. Why not?
Woo!
Now, obviously here they're not running a traditional. The Rain isn't running a traditional 2-2, which is kind of bad for on their part. But it turns out for them, it's better to have the Bastion.
They've got a Torb now.
If only because it allows them to get some real meaningful damage out as long as the Bastion doesn't die. And look at this. This is why this fight isn't lost either. The Ana Alex is just pocketing the fuck out of Talman, and they can't kill him, even though there's a Torb and a Lucio trying to a Torb, a Lucio, and a Genji trying a Torb and a Genji trying to focus fire him.
Oh my god.
Got Ryan.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Slept there, whatever. Oh, wait, no.
Sorry.
Oh, I accidentally powered up with someone.
Nice one.
Who did I power up? Was it Widow?
No. Hogs won. Woo! Oh my goodness. We won again. We won another fight.
Yeah, and I agree, Evan. I hate that it's working, but I'm at the same time. I like that, despite the fact that the match is already over, we already know the other team won. They're finding a way to, or even if it's like a small thing, like an Ana pocketing the carry hero, in this case the Bastion. Like, pocketing your carries is what you should be doing anyways in any comp. So even though the macro play is god awful, the macro play is god awful, but the micro play is really good. That's what I like. Yeah, also they're not depressed, which means I finally don't have to hear them complaining about it.
Okay, that one was because Alex was fucking pocketing Talman and they couldn't kill him. It was a Genji and who was it? It was a Genji and someone else couldn't kill him.
Oh, they're coming up here. They're coming up here.
Yeah, so they won, but we're playing. At this point, we're playing around. Both teams are.
Oh no, I'm dead. Yep, I'm dead. Nope. Yep.
Genji on point. Oh, he killed you.
Yeah.
Giant monkey!
Oh my god. Yeah,
Genji gets a 4K with a single
Widow
blade
hop
strike.
on point.
Well,
My bad.
that blade will do the trick. Jesus.
Yeah. I guess.
The blade. The nano blade.
We actually had a semi-decent defense considering what we were up against.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I mean, the thing is, that wasn't good at a macro level. Like, you were running a solo tank Zarya and a triple DPS comp with a group of characters that aren't made for that kind of comp. But, like, I think on some level, one of you or a couple of you picked up on some micro play that started paying dividends. Alex pocketing a carry. That was really good. I mean, maybe you were just doing it for the lulz, but that's a kind of thing you can be doing in your games to help your team succeed. Is if you realize, okay, my Reinhardt is the carry of this team, so I'm going to pocket the fuck out of him. Even if it means that you might occasionally forget or like not heal someone. If you can keep your carry alive, your carry might be able to do enough work to win a fight. And that can be something to take to heart. Yeah, so overall, the first two maps were just you got outmatched. The third map was you guys on the attack just did not coordinate at all on any level, unlike the previous two maps. I think it's because the third map was the one where you guys were getting really fucking depressing and salty. And I don't know about you, but ice cream always tastes better sweet than salty to me. So, if you want to think about that as a euphemism. But the last map was just bad because you guys were not you were not focused. You were focusing on things that didn't matter, that were out of your control. Like, no matter what happens in any match at any time, you gotta keep a level head. And that's probably the most important lesson I can give you for not only playing Overwatch, but just life in general, is keeping in mind the end goal and not focusing on everything that's stacked up against you. This team was better than you, and it wasn't going to be a close match ever. But you guys lost your cool, and that's when things started going from I can actually analyze this and break down what you were doing right and what you were doing wrong to, well, there's some things that were okay at best. I could actually have gone back for the other maps, as I did already with Evan, and I could probably pick out some pretty minor things that you were doing well. The third map, there was just nothing. There was nothing well. You guys weren't communicating. You were feeding. You were taking lost fights. You weren't grouped up. But, yeah. And that's not, like, I would have preferred to play your match than not play at all. So, just be thankful you should have tried to go out on a high note instead of out on a really low note, is what I'm going to leave it at. So, thanks everyone for checking out my stream. If you want to watch any of my past streams or highlights, you can go to the YouTube account that Nightbot just posted, and it'll have all my previous streams and uploads. So, have a nice night.